Welcome back to the We Three Bros podcast. I'm Derek. This is Joseph, and we're here. What's up?
Not much, man. Welcome to the We Three Bro. I almost called it the Broadcast. That's what we should change the name to, the We Three Broadcast. Just kidding.
That's a good
Welcome to the We
idea.
Three Bros podcast, everybody. Yeah, like he said, it is Derek, aka Michael Keaton's shadow, and it is me, Joseph. AKA grown up Timmy Turner. Derek, man, what's been up, man? How's the week treating you, man? But speaking of the Michael Keaton shadow, did you see that post anywhere?
No,
No? Okay, so you probably don't know what I'm talking about. So earlier
nope, no
today,
idea.
Michael Keaton posted on his Instagram, on his IG, it was a picture of his silhouette of the Batman. And so it looked
Oh,
like
okay.
it looked like he took a picture of his shadow in the Batman costume.
Huh.
So I don't know if I think you and I discussed it or whatever in one of the previous podcasts or one of the episodes, but he is going to be in the Flash trailer. Spoilers
Yeah.
for people if you don't want to get that spoiler and you haven't been keeping up with the Flash trailers. But yeah, no. So I'm assuming that they're definitely doing some more filming today, and he's just kind of doing some extra promotion for that upcoming movie and stuff. But yeah, man, you're AKA Michael Keaton's Batman Shadow, man. So, but yeah, no. With the past week, man, did you watch anything fun, man? What's been on your radar? Some things you kind of have seen, excited to kind of expecting for it to kind of come out or anything like that, man? What you got on your radar right now? What have you been watching?
Uh, so Monday we were off for President's Day, so we went and watched the Uncharted movie with Tom Holland and um, Mark Wahlberg.
Oh man, what were your thoughts, man? I don't know if you caught it, but during the Super Bowl, kind of going back to the Super Bowl and Mark Wahlberg, he had the mustache.
Yeah.
So
So I don't. That was I think that was edited just for the trailer because I don't remember
no, I'm
him
saying like
having a,
in the
a
Super.
mustache anywhere in the movie.
No, when he was at the Super Bowl, he
Oh
was
yeah, yeah, he had the.
sporting the
But
mustache.
but I remember in one of the trailers they showed him with the mustache also.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't see that
I'm
trailer.
pretty
I
sure.
stopped watching the trailers after I saw like the first two trailers. Again, I think
Yeah,
you and I have been kind of like on the same page of staying away from trailers as much as
yeah,
we can, especially as the movie gets closer. But I know during the Super Bowl he was rocking the mustache. Like he
yeah,
was wearing a mustache.
yeah. But I mean, overall, I thought it was a good movie, and I think if they continue it, two, three, whatever, it'll be a good series. Tom Holland did a great job, and portrays him before the video games, so he's much younger.
Oh, that makes a
So
lot of
this is
sense then.
so this
Okay.
was when he first met Sully, and this is like the first adventure they went on together.
hmm
So this is like way prior to the games,
Oh, okay. So it has
the
its own
timeline.
story. So it's not
Yeah,
even like I mean, besides characters, this isn't even remotely related towards like
I
the
mean, I
games or
think
anything.
I think as the movies progress, they'll get closer and closer to the timeline of the games. But right
Yeah.
now, it's just like years before the games take place.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's much younger in this one.
And in the games,
And
they allude to a lot of things that they've kind of done together when they were
yeah,
younger together. Like in the
yeah,
games, like they're always like when they're let's say they're in some kind of building and they have to sneak in and they're both together and they're like whispering together and they're just like, oh man, this is just like our time in
yeah.
whatever
And I think
country.
that's what the purpose of this movie is to set up the very beginning. Like this is how he started out on this in this path to where the video games kind of end.
Yeah, and from not from what I read recently, and I think it was a few days ago, was that the people in Sony were very happy with the way that the film kind of came out and how well it
Yeah,
did. That they're
yeah,
like, I think they said something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it's something along the lines of like, oh yes, we have our our franchise,
yeah,
alluding to the fact that they want more Uncharted films, or that they will be making more
yeah.
Uncharted films. So as long as Tom Holland signs, on the dotted line and moves forward with that, then we'll probably expect to get um,
Yeah,
more films from him.
it was it was pretty good in my opinion. Like it was worth the watch. I enjoyed it. And I hope they make more. I didn't really read too many of the like reviews before, like the negative reviews, but
Yeah.
to me, I wouldn't have gone off the reviews anyway. I would have still went and watched it and made my own opinion, which, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The action was good. There was some good sequences in there. Um, the puzzles and stuff that they showed them solving and stuff
Oh,
was
they
really
did
cool.
puzzles. That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
And the banter between like um, Nate and Sully was good. And a few other characters that are in the movie as well. Um, and there was a pretty good cameo towards the end of the movie also.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, if you get a chance, I would definitely go see it.
Now, so a few questions here, right? First question is, if you had no idea what the Uncharted films were and had no idea, like, I never played the games, like, if you're a casual viewer, could you go watch the film and still enjoy it? Do you think, because again, for you and I, we're probably a little biased because, again, we play the games. We played all the games,
Yeah.
right? So going to watch the film, do you feel like as a casual, person that just like, is just into an action film, could they go watch this
Yeah.
film and still enjoy it, do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it stands on its own. It's, similar to an Indiana Jones or to like the Tomb Raider, the rebooted Tomb Raider series
Yeah,
of movies. But it's got its own little niche there
yeah.
because it comes from the video game industry. Like the first title credit is Sony's new thing where they show all their characters and it says Sony Studios or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
So it starts with that. So it's based off a video game right away. But all in all, I mean it's good for people that don't know the series or aren't familiar with the games because it kind of introduces you to the character,
Yeah.
and then it's just an action adventure movie after that.
Yeah, no, and that's another thing too that I really liked about the series was like it told the story so well, like in the
Yeah,
games, that it was, which I got a funny tidbit to kind of add to that here a little bit later, but um, it like those games are so well written, and the way that they, you get to play through them. That yeah, there's some parts that are repetitive, right? Like you're sitting there and you have to like, all right, you have to get from point A to point B, and you have to shoot your way
yeah,
through there, right? And it's repetitive because you get the same, the same characters with the same outfit sometimes, or
yeah,
and you go through that, and it's like the same three weapons. But overall, the story, like if you pay attention to it, is really good, right? And yeah, there's some
yeah,
filler spots because again, obviously they're having to fill the spots to like play the game. But I remember when they first like were rolling out the advertisement for the Uncharted like games, like Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, Uncharted 4. I think, and I think it was around the PlayStation 4. Like they were advertising them as I don't ever forget. There was one commercial that they showed, and you maybe remember it, but one of the commercials was like a guy and his girlfriend, and he's playing the game, and she's like it's like an interview thing or whatever, right? And so she's like they're talking to her, and they're like, oh yeah, she's like, oh yeah, my boyfriend, like he brought this wonderful movie over, it's called Uncharted. And so like she's like
yeah,
she can't tell the difference between it being a movie or it being like some kind of video game. And that was like the
yeah,
advertisement that Sony kind of had, right? Because they knew that's
yeah,
how good the game was, that it was so good that your girlfriend could come over, or the person you're seeing, a family member, whoever it was, could come over, watch you play the game, and they thought they were watching a movie, not you playing a video game.
yeah. and
So go ahead there.
and to me, that's what a lot of Sony's IP is about. Like they're more into that single player story driven experience. And that's that drives a lot of people. That's one of my that's like I'm their target audience. I love a good single player story driven game. And even when like the Resident Evil remakes came out summer before last, like we played those over the summer, and um, Petra's sister would sit there on the couch and watch me play, and she would throw out little hints like check that over there, check. But she was watching it as she was watching a
Yeah.
TV show or a movie or something.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so great about like video games and what they're able to do. And for this particular game or this particular series to make it to the films, like I'm excited for it. Now again, do I think that the budget comparison to what you get visually on the game will compare? So like what I mean by that, it's like, some of the stories, right? So like one of the ones that sticks with me is whenever they found like that the Chintamanti stones, and where they had to like go, and there was like these like lower developed like beings, but they were really big and brawny and stuff, and it was like this
Yeah,
underworld or something, right? So he like found pretty much found like the El Dorado in a sense, right? Like this golden
Yeah.
city or something, right? But like to put that on like a huge production and be able to recreate that from an action scene sequence, I could tell that being pretty tough for them, right? And that, yeah,
Yeah.
costing a lot of money. Again, I'm just speculating there compared to like um somebody compared to like somebody else like what's it called, like doing it CGI or doing it in real life, and whatever,
Yeah.
right? Compared to like these developers and people who are doing the coding for the video games and kind of making those kind of shine the light. But it's interesting to see, or I'm excited and I'm really happy that they finally did it, and I'm intrigued to
Yeah.
see whether they'll stick to it script for script or if they'll alter it in some ways, which I don't think
Yeah.
that they would change it too much, because again, man, the storytelling in games sometimes are fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think there was a recent director, and I can't remember the director's name, and I'm kicking myself that I can't remember who it is, but he recently came out and said that video games are going to be the future of storytelling. And he's not wrong. Just like you said, man, the stories are
Yeah.
are great, and the imagination, the imaginative
Yeah.
aspect of it is fantastic. But it's also, I would say that it's going to be interesting because like the people who don't play video games and kind of look down on video games, it's like, will they be able to jump in and kind of enjoy the same thing for like the way that we're enjoying it? And how would they enjoy it, right? Could they maybe even with some VR aspect, right? Could they put the VRs on their head and then be able to watch somebody play through as that character, right? Like maybe they can't play the games, but they can still like put the headsets on and watch somebody
Yeah.
else play from a first person perspective of that actual video game character play the game, right?
So
And
you, so
watch
you know
somebody
who
learn.
said that quote?
Who was it?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, was it him? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought it was a director, but I knew it was some kind of somebody in the movie industries
Yeah.
said that, right? They came out and said like, oh yeah, video games are the story. And I couldn't remember if Joseph Gordon-Levitt, man, it's huge fan of his, but um, it's going to be great to see video games like in the storytelling aspect. And again, and I could see that because like even though there may be series in video games, they're still not afraid. There's still a lot of independent games are not afraid to come out and make their own game. I think
Yeah.
movie studios have been too caught up on series because
Yeah.
they want to keep bringing people back for money, that they're
Yeah.
they're willing to make you know Fast and Furious 15
Right.
because they know because of the name people are going to keep going to the movie theater. Where it's
Yeah.
like if it's an independent film, they're not going to get the same result of people coming to see their films and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting again the next 10 to 15 years, man. If not even sooner than that. But now that I mentioned that the VR, you send me the article, man. They finally Sony's officially come out and shown more images of the actual was PS was it they call it the PlayStation VR
PSVR
2?
2.
Yeah, right. The PS VR 2. What do you think of the images?
I think it looks really nice. The single cable, no camera needed. The
The
control
retina
better. The
kind of,
control.
or like the eyeball tracing or something, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be something that's like I always wanted to try the PSVR, the original one, and I just never got around to it. But I'm definitely gonna, do what I can to pick up this one when it gets released. Like I'm not gonna let this one pass me by because it just looks like the tech that they built into it looks amazing. And
Yeah.
I was reading, under the article, the comments and stuff, and people were like, well, it should be wireless. They're complaining about it being the one wire, and other people are like, if they made it wireless, this thing's going to cost over $1,000.
Yeah.
And right now, it's probably going to be close to like $300-400, which is still a lot for some people. But I mean, I would rather pay $300 or $400 with a single wire than over 1,000 for no wire. Like,
Yeah.
and then if it's no wire, then it has to run on its own. It's not going to be running off the PlayStation's hardware, which
Yeah.
which is another huge advantage to
That's a
be
good.
running
That's a good.
off of
That's a good point. That's a good point. I didn't even realize that.
to utilize PlayStation's hardware as opposed to running on its own,
Yeah.
whatever built-in internals. That's a huge advantage. And it's not like the wire's only like 2 feet long. You have to stand right in front of your TV. I'm sure they'll make it long enough where you can stand back.
Yeah. No, no, yeah, because I could only like that's the first thought that came into my head was just like, man, I hope the wire isn't short. Because imagine, like
Yeah.
again, I don't foresee that happening because you have to be able to at least probably stand up, move your arms around, and then being that close to the TV isn't ideal, So,
Yeah.
or maybe if you can, the cord is long enough that you can feel it, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't like fucking try to run forward as fast as I can or some shit like that, you know?
And with it having, the joysticks on the hands, it's not like you have to move your body physically to
Oh, I
like
guess yeah,
get
yeah,
someplace. It's just a matter of turning your head and, doing some leaning or whatever for ducking or
yeah,
whatever it is you got to do. You don't have to necessarily move around, because you're still using the joysticks on the controllers to move your person just like you would any game you play now.
no, for sure. And for
And
me,
like I've done VR where you have to move around and that's it's cool, but I almost ran into the wall so many times because you don't know where the boundaries are. Like
yeah,
in your head, you're in this thing. You're not in a box.
open landscape, yeah,
Yeah. So it was, I think what they're doing is the right direction. The one cable,
yeah.
using PlayStation 5's hardware to run the games and not being self-contained. And revamping the controllers and the headsets, you don't have to have a camera. I mean, that's all in the right direction.
Yeah, and for me, I would care less about the games initially, right? Because I'm sure they're probably going to have to work on a lot of capabilities to be able to
Yeah,
operate from a VR perspective. But I would care less about playing a VR game, and I would more so want experiences. So like if it's again just using this as a hypothetical, like let's say like they don't have necessarily like really good games initially on its first launch, but if they give you experiences like, hey, you want to go to the Grand Canyon, we've put somebody at the Grand Canyon to take photos and stuff, and you could go lock in and like see the Grand Canyon from
walk
that perspective
around
or
and
walk
yeah,
around
that'd be
it.
pretty cool.
So again, if they offered something like that, I would still be very, very excited to do something like that. Or you're walking
Yeah,
in the jungle or be on a boat in the ocean. Like it doesn't have to be anything spectacular. Like I don't have to be like fighting dragons and doing all this intense stuff, man. Like it could be just me like walking down the road,
yeah,
in a different city or whatever, which I know that I think Google's has done some pretty cool capabilities of being able to like augmented reality in a
the
sense.
AR. Yeah,
Yeah, where you can kind of like use your phone and look up and kind of walk around and it'll kind of show you locations and restaurants and
yeah. I mean, they have that option for when you do Google Maps if you're on foot, where it'll like you can like point it at something and it'll tell you to go up to there and then make a left or make a right or keep going based
yeah.
on the landmarks that the camera sees on your phone.
Yeah, now again, I know Google and PlayStation are two different companies, but if Sony can kind of implement some of that, and like again, it doesn't have to be like it could be like a city like in France or something like that, man.
Yeah,
There's so many photos out there that again, in theory, like could they possibly upload all the photos and put them splice them all together so that you can be there at a different period in time or something? Yeah, I don't know. So it
yeah,
I mean I don't know what even is going to be with it, right? I think they didn't release any dates, right, as to when they're going to
yeah.
release it.
Nothing like that.
They didn't really. I think there's speculation on the price. I don't think the price has actually been announced. But
Yeah, they haven't.
again, like you said, I don't think. I think that the news or what they're speculating is that it's not going to be more than like maybe $500 or six hundred
Yeah, I
dollars
don't think
at
you'll
the
pay more
most.
than what you paid for your PlayStation for the
No, and then the same thing
VR.
from like what you were saying. Like I don't think you'll pay like, or if you're going to pay $1,000, like might as well get your own built-in computer and spend way more than that, right?
Yeah,
And I think I saw something where people like compared them. Like it was like that. It was the PSVR to the PSVR one, the Oculus. Um, I think the Samsung one is the Samsung still is that the Oculus one? I don't know. It was like
no, the Oculus is the one that's owned by Facebook,
it's
by
Facebook.
Meta,
Okay, so it's Oculus. Yeah, you're right.
and then
Oculus.
there's the Hive one, I think.
Maybe
HI.
Hive one, but it was comparing all of them, and then they had like subsequent ones about like, hey, this is how you can create your one, and it was like matching the prices and all like the components and the features and stuff of it,
Yeah.
and it got pretty pricey for some of them.
Oh
Like you said,
yeah.
like one of them was like 3,500, and I was like, I don't think
Right.
there's enough people that I know that spent 3,500 on some VR stuff. Like so, I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that, right? So
It'd be cool if they started making like some of the like multiplayer, not like the first person shooters in a per se, but like that game that you and Vic played where you got to help each other, you escape from jail and everything.
yes,
The
yes,
Like
a
that
way
would
out
be
or no way out.
really cool in VR. Like I think that would be really fun. Like you're working with somebody else and they're in VR and you're in VR and you're helping each other. I think that would be really fun.
Like working on puzzles or something like that. Again,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be extravagant initially, right? Like let us see what the technology is able to kind of do. Let's get the glitches out of the way at first, but on that second, once that second season or after 4 to 6 months or whatever, let's see some games where we can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if you could do something as similar to like Portal, but together,
Oh
like
yeah, that'd be
that'd be
fun too.
fucking sick, right? Like you have to jump to like when you would create portals and you would
Yeah,
create an infinite portal where your character's like falling
yeah,
repeatedly. Like that'd be crazy to be like, oh shit, we gotta fix this, we gotta fix this, and you're just like visually just falling in the hole
yeah.
like over and over. Like it'd be wild if
Hopefully you
you
don't throw up in your living room.
Oh god, yeah. If you which again, I remember who was it? It was I was when I was in college, and again, it's probably way more advanced at this point. When I was in college, there was I had a professor tell me that she went to like this convention and they gave them VR, but they gave them the VR to walk across a plank. Like they put a piece of wood
Yeah.
on the
Oh
ground like in a
yeah.
building. And I'm sure you've done something like that or seen something like that, and they put VR on them. And but it was the point of it was because it was a psychology convention was to um it was like perception, like visual
Yeah.
perception and like balance. And like how even though like physically you're not very high, if visually you see you're very like high, your mind will like there's a disconnect there, so it'll think you're
Yeah.
going to fall to your death or something. And that people were losing their balance, right? Like they weren't keeping their balance, even though they were on this little thing, and it was like that far from the ground from the actual carpet
Yeah.
that they were still just like or whatever, right? But I was at I think the cerebellum possibly, because I know cerebellum has to do with your movement. So like when you drink alcohol, that's the first thing that's affected, right? So as soon as you
Yeah.
drink alcohol, like it affects the cerebellum, which is why you get all like woozy and stuff. So like it also
Yeah.
has like something associated with like perception. So like as you're trying to walk on this thing, it just doesn't, you lose your balance, right? You think you're going to lose your balance when you're really just walking across the ground or something. So and I think on that, I think they didn't use. I don't even think they use wood in that convention. I think they just put tape. They're just like walk across this tape or something like that, and they were still like
That's
all
crazy.
over the place or something. So, but going back to the movie and going back to the to Horizon, right? So kind of comparing those two, I know they're two different. Like one's a game and one's a movie right now. But from the review aspect, man, they both got review bombed
Oh yeah.
pretty bad by I think that it was the audience score.
Yeah. There was a bunch of people review bombing Horizon.
Yeah, and it makes me think it's
I
just
saw one. It was this one guy. He had only reviewed two games, and it was both zeros, and it was Last of Us Two and Horizon Forbidden West. So he's like one of the people that purposely go and review bomb games.
and which again that's it makes me think like is it because it's like they both at some point had or because they have female like protagonists
Leads.
like
Yeah.
leads like protagonists like is that the reason like because that's the only thing I can
Well,
kind of
some people wrote that because they could see like peach fuzz on Aloy's face.
one what the fuck number one number two the amount of detail that goes into
To
that
do that,
like vision like those guys had to work so hard to even remotely like yo man my mom got peach fudge love you mom if you ever listen to the podcast I love you my mom has peach fuzz shit my sisters had peach fudge I mean I've dated people that have had like the peach fudge or whatever like nothing crazy but like it's all that's a natural thing that all people have man like all kinds of
yeah,
women have that right so um for them to review bomb that game which again I've seen nothing but great things from like watching walkthroughs and stuff of the game. I haven't played the game just yet, man. I need to go pick that up. Um, but it's
yeah. I have it sitting, but I haven't played it yet.
yeah. But I can't wait for you to play it, man, and give us some your feedback on it after you play and stuff. But no, man, it's supposed to be really good, and for them to just bomb it because possibly a female protagonist, like get over yourself, man. Like I get the game is sometimes dominated by um male gamers and stuff but at the
Yeah.
same time like man get over yourself man like it's
Well, they're
2022
also
man
saying like the story is too woke and all that stuff.
what I can't man I can't
Right.
I can't it's a fictional game it's not I don't know man I don't know I'm just whatever but
Yeah, it's the
anyways
same thing they did with the what's his name, Neil Druckmann, that produced and created Last of Us 2, saying that he like put too much of his ideology into the game. I mean, that's their creative freedom. If that's what they want to put in the game, that's what they're going to put in the game.
Derek did you dislike the game
I like Last of Us 2. I thought it was really good.
exactly man it was a great fucking game it doesn't matter ideologies you put in or whatever man it's a great
Like, why are they
story
mad that the girl like was like yoked? I mean, she was working out. She was in, training like she was in the military. So of course, like I don't remember seeing too many females when I was in the military that didn't work out a little bit.
Yeah, they
There
have
was
to
no
be in
like
shape. Yeah.
300-pound women running around, except for the wives. But that's the norm. If the girls are associated with the military, and that was their branch, their version of the military in that game,
Yeah.
because civilization had fallen, they made their own. Of course, they're going to work out. So just because she's a little yoked, like you're going to tell me that if some girl that was like good looking to you wanted to, have sex with you just because she's yoked, you're not going to do it? Come on.
That I feel that, man. I feel that it doesn't like again. I think you and I were like. I think whenever you like when we found out right when you got to that part where she was like you said that she was yoked. You had texted me. And you're like, man, she's like so yoked or whatever. And I was like, I know, man. I'm jealous. She has better guns than me. And you were like, me too,
Right.
man. I wish I was that yoked too. We were both like, man. We wish we were just as like big and strong as she is, man. But no, like even in like yeah, man, her character showed emotions. Her character was fucking tough. Her character was a badass, man. And again, you guys have to play the game. No, I'm not gonna spoil it for you to kind of find out what ends up happening towards the end. But man, it's holy shit, the game is amazing. And I don't care if it's a female protagonist or a male protagonist. Like I mean, shit. What is it? Metro? No.
Metroid.
Metroid. Yeah, right. Female. Samus.
Yeah. Samus
Samus.
is female. She's been
Samus is female.
female the whole time.
Yeah, so like, yeah, man, you guys played that game and didn't fucking review bomb it. Like, get over yourself, man. Like, woke culture,
Right.
whatever you want to call it, man. Like,
Like, can you imagine if like they showed Master Chief take off his helmet and this whole time it was a girl and just the helmet had a voice changer that made it sound male, and all of a sudden it wasn't,
Derek, stop,
it
man.
wasn't a female?
You're gonna fuck. People are gonna
People would
burn
probably
down the
burn
world.
Microsoft to the ground.
Which is not. It's not okay. Like it's not okay for them to burn Microsoft down. Like it's perfectly fine for this character to like be female. Who gives a shit, man? The character's been badass for 20 plus years now, right? It's been almost 20 years,
Yeah.
15, 20 years or something like that, man. Like the character's been a badass. Like you love the story. Like who cares if Master Chief is a girl? Like as long as that
Yeah.
person is a badass person that could kick some ass and could lead some people, man, take some lessons and move the fuck on, man. So
Right.
I don't know. That's how I feel about it, man. I don't care if it's female, male, alien, shit. Like who gives a shit, man? Like as long as the game
Yeah.
is awesome and the characters is awesome, I got no problems with that, man. So
Right.
like that's how I feel about it. But yeah, man, just wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit because I know Horizon and Uncharted, unfortunately, were like being review bombed for some stupid reasons, man. So if
Yeah.
it's because the characters are female, man, fuck you guys, eat a dick and go somewhere with that shit. So
Right. Right.
um but speaking of some other games that or just some other updates in like the gaming world, Call of Duty is skipping a year. I know you don't really play the Call of Duty games, but for people who are listening, Activision has decided to kind of skip a year. I think it's next year or something like that. They're not going to release a game. They normally, again, it's a yearly thing, but Activision decided to kind of skip the year and kind of focus on like redeveloping the game. Me and my friends we were talking about it the other day at work, and they were kind of mentioning, they were like, yeah, they don't have to do anything. They got Warzone, like it's like
Right.
Fortnite, man. Like they're just plugging in money, or they're just reining in money. GTA, like they've all figured out that like the online like
Yeah.
in-game purchases, the season passes, as like just giving them a crazy amount of money. Like why should they have to work
And
so
for
hard?
minimal work, like how long does it take them to code like a season or whatever
Yeah.
however they update it? It's not a full game. It's, a small patch for an update probably takes like a fourth of the time to code, as opposed to a full game takes for them a year. But
Yeah, again. You and I were talking about it. We both. I don't know very little about coding. Maybe a little bit of stuff of coding. It's like again, it's like, all right, guys, we got new skids coming up. It's gonna go from red to green. You literally have to push a button and that's it. Again, maybe not to that
right.
extent, but it's in
Yeah.
comparison, or using that as a metaphor, it's that easy where they can just go in, code some things, add a new suit, maybe make it fancy, and then that's it. So they don't have to worry about.
And hopefully they take this year and they can like get back to kind of the story that Call of Duty started with,
Yeah,
that's the Call of Duties I liked, Modern Warfare 1 and 2, where I had that single player story mode, and you get, you
yeah,
get an attachment to the characters, Soap and all them guys and Captain Price. Like there's no attachment to any of these characters when it's just, the guy you made and you go out and shoot a bunch of people you don't know.
Oh no, yeah,
over and over again in
ah,
battle royale.
the battle royale, man. Yeah, it gets a little frustrating. Have you ever played any of the Warzone kind of like that style of game?
Nah,
You never have?
just
Yeah,
like just what we played. You know.
yeah. It's intense, man, because like I don't know, like I know like I was talking to some people like if you have a PC like and if you're doing crossplay, you guys are gonna win all day every day. Like if you
Yeah.
don't have a PC, like you're playing against PC players, you might as well just hang it up or whatever. But I played like Warzone or like that, you know, what is the word for it, Derek? Like the, when you have to kill everybody. Battle Royale, thank you. Battle
Oh
Royale.
yeah.
I was thinking about. I was like, you just mentioned it just like a few seconds ago. But it had that Battle Royale style. Like it's fun when you do it like within like PlayStation people or Xbox people or something. Do that kind of cross-platform because then again it's a little bit easier because again people are working with controllers. Not easier, it's still fucking tough. I still suck at it. Not that good at it, right? But it can be manageable, man. And I mean, I think me. Um, I think me and our boy Victor and like one of his friends or something. We won a battle royale one time, but again we just kind of hid the entire time. And then once everybody fucking died, we finally came out, killed a few people, and then we were able to win the entire thing, man. So that was kind of like one of the only ways that we kind of won. But yeah, we're not out there
Yeah.
fucking 50 kills in battle royale or something like that. Which a lot of times you don't, man. You have to be strategic with it. You got to do some hiding. You got to, you have to be strategic with it, man. You almost have to camp in
Yeah.
those kind of things, not for too long, because obviously there's like a circle that's getting smaller and smaller, to forcing you to battle each other. But the first few rounds, man, you got to hide. Get all the resources you can, hide for a little bit, and then once you're ready, come out and try to fuck people up. But and those maps are so big sometimes, man. Again, I'm not knocking the game, but it's like they're so big that you're like walking down and you fucking get sniped and you die and you're like, where the hell you get sniped at? And you notice that you're like this guy's on the other side of the fucking map and you're like, did I just like how the fuck like what? So
Right. Are them kills where someone just chucks a knife into the air and it just like happens to fall on your damn head? Like,
oh
come
man.
on, man. That
My
was
my
the
fa-
luckiest kill you ever got in your life.
my favorite kind of kills, man. I've done it once. It was awesome. I think I was on a map and like the game started and I just fucking threw my tomahawk. Just threw it and I just knew because it was a smaller map, so I just fucking threw my tomahawk and it just went to the other side. It just said first blood and I was like, "Oh shit, all right." And just kept running, man. I was like, that guy is pissed off.
Right.
I've definitely done that. But yeah, no, so they're skipping a year. Street Fighter 6 was announced. I know people who are
Yeah, I saw the little announcement thing for that.
yeah, people are really, really, people who are really into fighting games. I'm not really big into fighting games, but Street Fighter 6 again apparently is really huge news for that kind of community that plays that kind of game. So shout out to those individuals. Um, uh, the Steam Deck, I believe, it was released today. If it wasn't released today, it was going to ship today, so you could purchase to ship. Um, I don't know how much I think we kind of maybe spoke about it on the podcast before, but that's been released
Yeah.
as well. And probably
Yeah,
will,
today it launched.
yeah, launch today, so it should probably be in some people's hands coming up soon. So if you guys don't know what that is, the Steam Deck is pretty much a handheld, um, a handheld gaming
Computer.
like system, right? So that's the best way I can describe it. So it's pretty much your Nintendo Game Boy kind of thing, right? So obviously a lot more advanced, but it's also associated with Steam. So Steam is, if you have a PC, like Steam is the one to have because you can download so many different games and play so many games on the
Yeah.
PC on there, man. And it's actually really cheap. A lot of games on there are really cheap, and a lot of games are free as well on there. So Steam is where it's at, man. I don't know if I would get one, but I've thought about it. But I'll probably go the VR route first before I even kind of remotely think about that. Because one, I'm not even really, I have a Steam account and I've used it once or twice, but I haven't really like stuck with it too much. Um,
Yeah. There's three versions of it. There's the basic one, 64 gigs for $400, 256 gigs for $530, and 512 gigs for $650.
oh shit! So you're pretty much just paying for the
But
storage then.
yeah. Well, the other ones, the first one comes with carrying case, faster storage on the second one, carrying case, and a community profile. And then on the third one, fastest storage,
Hmm.
premium anti-glare etched glass, an exclusive carrying case,
Oh
and an
shit!
exclusive Steam community profile, and then exclusive virtual keyboard theme.
Interesting.
Um,
I wonder if the carrying
but
case has
so
like your name on it or something.
maybe. Um, so expected order availability. So the reservations start today. They're not
That's
going
what
to
it is,
start
right?
shipping until after quarter two of 2022. So not until June timeframe, I guess, would be quarter two.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was something like that. I know it was released today. Like people were talking about it within like
Yeah, just the reservations today.
just a reservation. Okay, so yeah, yeah. Again, when I say released, I know I said that, but I meant so more so just like
Yeah.
it's available to possibly get your hands on at this point in time. So if you wanted to make some kind of purchases, reservations or something, but I think they said the second half of 2022 is when it was officially going to, be in
Yep.
people's hands or something like that. So, and then the final thing on gaming news, and I don't know if you saw it. I knew about the game, but I didn't really like look into it too much. Elden Ring. What have you heard about Elden Ring?
Yeah. So matter of fact, I was watching a video on it right before we started this,
Oh,
like
cool,
what to
cool.
know, like the videos what to know before you buy or know before you
Yeah.
buy. I mean, I've never really been into those. It's like what are the other games
Dark
they
Souls.
Dark Souls. I've never really been in any of those games, and to me, the I don't know, just the fighting just looks slow and
Hmm.
clunky to me.
Yeah, which a lot of times those kind of games are slow and clunky like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so not really a big interest for me. I know Justin said that he's gonna get it, but
Hmm.
just doesn't look that fun to me.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's a big open world to explore and everything, but what game isn't a big open world to explore these days?
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
not bringing anything new to the table, and it looks almost exactly like those Dark Souls and
Hmm.
Demon Souls or whatever. It looks like the the fights and everything, the character,
No,
everything
no.
looks so similar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, have you seen the reviews for them for the game?
No, I haven't seen any of the reviews for
Man,
it.
people have been raving about the game, just completely raving about the games. And like you, man, I've never really been into the Dark Souls games. Like they're just not something that I've ever been really interested in. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, I have at one point in time, and people love the game, but they also say that the games are really fucking hard. Like
yeah,
like they definitely will punish you for you not doing the right things, and also like you won't get like as many like your resources can be limited sometimes. You have to be a lot more defensive than offensive. So like instead of like going in there guns blazing and just kind of swinging your sword whenever you
yeah,
want to, like that's not the right way to kind of play the game. And then two, um I know you're kind of talking about the open world concept. It is open world concept, but it is also not task based. So you know
yeah,
how some games are like there's a story mode and you follow the story mode, and then there's certain tasks that you have to kind of complete before you move forward. This kind of game is not like that, man. You have to go out and find the task instead of the task coming to you. You know how like
yeah,
some games direct you like, oh, go to the right, go to the left, go to this, this
yeah,
interest point or something. Like on this game, you don't get that, man. You have to like go and find all that stuff yourself. Like there's no direction. They just drop you in. I don't know if they just drop you somewhere, but like it kind of sounds like you're in the middle of like this like area, and then you have to just go out there and try to figure it out, kind of thing. So, um, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. It's not something that I'm like really hard set on. I want to play Horizon first before
yeah,
I even think about it. But the fact that it's gotten so many good reviews, has definitely piqued my interest. But the whole, like I said, if it's similar to the Dark Souls games, man, I just know those games are very, very tough, and they are not forgiving if you like die or something. Because I
yeah,
what was it? I think it's Bloodborne or one of the games that's similar
yeah.
to that, where like
Bloodborne,
you like yeah,
Sikaros.
Sekiro. I wanted to play that game. I heard that game was phenomenal. People said it was great, but again, another game where you have to like be very on offense, or sorry, very defensive, right? Like you just can't go in there swinging your
Yeah,
sword. You have
it's got an overall 97 on Metacritic.
what, Elden Ring?
Yeah,
Yeah. So again, it looks very interesting, and
ton of hundreds.
yeah, and I think what is it? Was it J.J.R. Martin? He helped with like some of the
Yeah, he
storyline and
helped part
stuff.
of
So
it.
so it's gotten some good reviews, man. Again, like I said, it's gotten my interest, especially with the fact that it's gotten some hundreds, and people really kind of talking about the expansiveness of the world and
Yeah,
all the other things that are kind of like a part of the game. So it may be something I might pick up, but I mean, there's other games I have to play first before I even get into them. So.
I might wait until it's like on sale.
Yeah, so I'll pick it up first, man, and then I'll play some of it, and I'll let you know how it goes. I think it might be co-op too. I think, but I could be completely wrong, man.
Hmm.
I want to say I heard some people talking about it. I had some friends talking to how they were going to make some kind of um what's it called, like a LAN. They're going to do a LAN party, old school LAN party, but do it with
Oh,
Elden Ring.
nice.
So I was just like, oh shit, I wonder if that's going to be, their way of doing it co-op or something. So not too sure, but yeah, it's out there, man. So people, will want to look into it. Definitely look into it. Something I will. Um, but yeah, those are my news. My
Did you
news
see
updates on the games, man. Do you have anything else you wanted to add?
the March PS Plus games?
I did, man. You sent them over to me. What was it? The Legends of Ghost of
The
Tsushima,
Ghost of Tsushima Legends,
and
uh,
then
Sonic Team Racing,
Sonic Team Racing.
Ark Survival Evolved,
Oh yeah,
and, and Ghost Runner.
I do have Ark. I did pay for Ark. I played with it, or I bought the game and I played it, but it's one of those games where you have to. It's like you have to mine a lot. Like you have to really go
Yeah,
out there and like go get your resources and spend your time resources so you can build like structures and armor and
yeah,
weapons and everything. But it's also I joined somebody who's like a high, very high level. So I went in there as like a really low level, and I went in there, and so I was playing with people who were already had things established and stuff. So it wasn't as fun for me at first because I was like, it's hard to kind of go into a game when somebody's like level 50 and you're barely level 1, and you're still trying to like get your resources, and then they take the fun out of it because they're just like, oh no, here's some pants, here's some clothes, here's some, they're just giving you all this shit, right? And you're
yeah,
just like, all right, well, I was hoping to like fucking chop this tree down to get the wood to build build a structure, and kind of starting from the bottom, right? And kind of doing
yeah.
that with people. So when I played with people who were like I said, very high level, and I was just like, man, this isn't that interesting. But really, it's a cool concept. It's a cool concept, and it's fun to play with other people for sure.
Yeah, I was thinking of getting that one just so like I know that you if you had it and maybe if Vic had it and
Yeah,
if Justin had it, we could all get out and play together.
for sure. I'm always down, man. You just let me know, and I'm hopping up there with you, man. So,
All right.
but yeah, but oh man, one other thing I wanted to mention, then we'll move on to some further talk about movies and stuff. Um, I think I'm gonna give you guys some numbers here. So Sonic, I think it's one of the most recent Sonic was the film that got like grossed the highest amount of money, um, on like their like opening weekend and stuff like that. But Sonic was
Yeah.
58 million. Detective Pikachu was number two at 54. Tomb Raider 47 million, and then Uncharted came in fourth place with 44 million. So again, has some solid weekends in comparison, but Sonic still took the cake, man. But again, there are probably a lot more people taking their kids to see Sonic than they are take them
Oh
to go see
yeah.
Uncharted, right?
Right,
Um,
for real.
but yeah, man. So what are some things from a movie perspective, TV shows that you kind of keeping up with?
I just rewatched all of season 5 of Rick and Morty.
Still as good as when you first watched it.
Oh yeah. 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 I'll always watch Rick and Morty. That's always one I can like if I got nothing else to watch or I just like I want to like something going in the background, I can always throw on Rick and Morty.
I think I told you, man. I still watch it almost every single night before bed. Like I just start from season one and just and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing my fifth cycle of it. So right now I'm currently in I think I'm in season two. So the last episode I watched was was like his Tiny Rick episode.
Oh
Where
yeah.
it's like him killing the vampire, and like
But
he's
yeah.
he's with the kids, and then was it Jerry and Beth? They're like going through the couples counseling, and they have like the monster. Like she has like the giant
Yeah.
monster, and he's like the little worm that's just like
Yeah.
super pathetic and stuff. So, but yeah, no, man, that's the episode I watched last night. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get to season 5. We'll probably talk about it some more. So, anything that you
That
probably caught the second time watching it that you didn't catch the first time, that you just
um
like, oh shit, I didn't catch that the first time.
not really. Nothing I can think of right offhand.
All right.
Yeah, if I watch it again, I'm probably sure I'd pick up on other stuff. Um and then I also watched the first 3 episodes of the newest season of South Park,
Okay.
which is so far pretty good, except it sounds like they changed Mr. Mackey's voice and they changed Stan's voice. I don't know if it's just me
Oh.
or if they really did.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Mr. Mackey doesn't sound the same, and neither does Stan.
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe if you can find it, find one of the new episodes and listen, maybe you'll be able to tell.
Are they all on Paramount Plus? Or are they
So the
showing up
new
on
one, the
HBO?
first, them three episodes are on HBO.
They're on HBO
Actually,
Max? Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I'll have to check them out on HBO Max, man. I still have to go back and watch the previous season. I think I started the previous season but didn't finish it.
yeah. But so far, it's a funny season. They do one where they it's kind of like how there's the mask people and there's the non-mask people,
Hmm.
except for it's not masks, it's pajamas. So there's pajama people and there's no pajama people. And then you know how like they start arresting people for not wearing masks,
Hmm.
like where they're supposed to, and then people like assault the people without masks, so they get arrested too. So it's the same thing. People that aren't wearing pajamas are getting arrested, and then people that are assaulting the non-pajama people are getting arrested. And one of the funniest lines is like the very last line of the episode. This dude's walking out of the jail after everyone gets released, and he's like, "No one's going to tell me to cover my dick and boobies or titties."
Oh man, you gotta love their perception on like you said the
Current
mask.
culture,
Yeah, yeah, and like how
yeah, and
they
then they just change it just a little bit to be something else, but you know what they're talking about.
yeah, yeah, it's so subtle that you're just like, oh shit, like I know what they
Yeah,
did here, I know what they did here, so they're always doing things like that. Um,
yeah. I would definitely, if you get it, like when you get a chance, watch the first few episodes of the new season. It's
yeah,
hilarious.
they never fail me, man. I could always find like a good laugh out of them, so definitely hear you there,
Yeah.
man. I have to watch it. Anything else you kind of caught up with this week, or
Um,
caught up with this week? I can't talk.
No, nothing really. We started watching Big Bang Theory from the very beginning again.
Oh man, love the series. Love the series.
You know, I never liked it until like just a few years ago. Like I always thought it was annoying, and
Yeah,
then
I mean, I
like
could see that.
it didn't seem interesting to me. But then once we started watching it, it like it kind of it kind of grew on me, and I'm like, I'll watch it. And then like when we watch like the other night, we watched like 4 episodes in a row, just like back to back to back to back.
That's what happens, man. And you're just like, oh shit, it's fucking it's 10 o'clock. We gotta go to bed.
Right, right. Yeah, so pretty much that's all I've been watching.
With that, who would you say is your favorite character so far? Well, I guess not so far, but since you've watched the series, who would you say is your favorite character?
On
Big Bang
Big
Theory.
Bang?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. They're all just so like awkward.
Raj is probably yours. It's fine. All right, moving on to the next thing. Derek, you don't have to lie to me, man. You can tell us. After I believe it's 26 seasons or 26 years, the final episode of Arthur finally aired on television, and I know you watched it, man. You've been a huge Arthur fan since you were a kid. Arthur the Anteater. Did you watch the?
He's an anteater?
Yeah, he's an anteater.
I didn't know what the hell he was. I thought he was a bear.
I think he's
I've
an
never
anteater.
watched an
Google
episode
this
of
shit real
Arthur.
quick. Fact check me real quick. Fact check me real quick, man. I was like, is it the anteater? Because I could have swore somebody said it was Arthur the Anteater. But if I'm wrong, I feel stupid, and I'm probably talking about something completely different. It is Arthur the Anteater.
uh, what kind of animal is Arthur? An aardvark. So yeah,
Aardvark. Okay, close enough. Not really. They're two fucking animals. It's fine.
I've never seen an episode of Arthur.
Have you not? Oh man, shit. That was my.
Nah,
I think I've seen memes about it. They're like, "Yo, shout out to Arthur, who's come through for everybody who didn't have cable growing up." Like I didn't have cable,
right.
man, so that's what I
Because
watched. I watched
was it
Arthur.
on PBS or
He's on
something like that?
PBS. Yeah,
Yeah.
public broadcasting
I've always
station.
seen the memes like of him wearing the headphones, but it's not like touching his ears. Or ears are like here, and the headphones are like down here,
That
or
and then
like him like clenching his fist.
the
The whole
fist,
clenched fist
the
meme.
fist. Always go down as like one of the best Arthur ones. But yeah, no, it ended, man. It's I think Arthur became a graphic novelist where he talks
I
about.
saw something about the.
Yeah, where he like he does a comic book for the actual series, and then the only other one I ever knew was
So
Buster.
did he kill anybody off?
It ended the way The Sopranos ended.
Right. It just goes dark there in a
Just
cafe.
yeah, exactly. He was
You
in a
don't know what
cafe
happened.
too. He was in the cafe too, man. That's exactly how it ended. It just fucking blacked out. Like I promise, he was actually in the
That'd be
cafe.
hilarious.
And they just play woke up this morning, got yourself. You know. But Arthur ended, man, finally after a while. You just kind of want to touch on some upcoming movies. Batman
Sure.
March 4th comes out March 4th, right? So next month on the 4th, we got more. Was it Morbius? Comes out on the April 1st, and I think the final trailer gets released this Monday. It's coming up Monday. Doctor Strange drops on May 6th. DC Pets, I think it's like DC League of Pets or something like that, drops May
Yeah.
20th. Thor: Love and Thunder, July 8th. So again, 4 days after 4th of July, obviously. Black Adam drops on 7/28, so July 28th. Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse 2, or I think Across the Spider-Verse is what it's called, drops October 7th. Flash drops on November 4th. We got Wakanda Forever on November 11th, and then Aquaman on December 16th, which brings me to Peacemaker season finale, Derek. We
Oh,
didn't
you
talk
watched it?
about it. Yeah, I did watch it, man. The cameo at the end, no spoilers for anybody out there, but the cameo at the end, man, was very surprising.
Yeah. And there's people that still complained about it.
What?
Yeah. Because they didn't show two of the faces.
Oh,
And
come
because two of the other Justice League characters weren't there. Oh, I just spoiled it. My bad.
on.
Because two of the other people weren't there.
Oh, man. That's stupid. That's so stupid. Get
But
over
the
yourself.
the dialogue between the two that were I was rolling.
I don't know how they. I don't know how that rumor got spread.
Yo, I thought it was perfect ending to a good season,
Yep.
and I can't wait to see what. I think James Gunn said that he's done with movies and he's just going to concentrate on Peacemaker
Yeah,
for a while.
I think I saw an image recently of all the things he has coming up for like the next like 2 years or something, and it is ridiculous, ridiculous. But if he sticks with series, I wouldn't be upset with him because you get
Yeah.
to actually expand on your story, man. You don't have 3 hours to tell the story or 2 hours to tell the story. You have 7 hours to tell your story.
Well,
So
like the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that's coming out, that's it. That's done. No more Guardians of the Galaxy stories after that. So
Gunzo.
you the probably the only time you'll see them is if they like show up in like a big collab movie like Avengers. But there aren't going to be any more Avengers movies either. So it's we'll see.
I just want
But
like 1 or 2 crossover episodes or crossover movies, and that's it. That's all I'm
yeah,
really asking for.
I want to like an Avengers versus X-Men or something.
Oh, bro, they don't even play with me right now.
But it's going to be a while to bring that up because you got to bring in the X-Men characters.
We're gonna be in fucking wheelchairs sitting here. By the time that shit happens, welcome to the We Three Bros
Right.
podcast.
This is
Broadcast.
season 42.
Oh shit! I forgot. I was like, yeah. I was like, Derek, I think we're way past episode 42, and I was like, oh no, he said season 42. Holy fuck. um, yeah, man. So yeah, I hope we get there. I hope we get there at some point in time. We'll wait and see there, man. But I know, man. I got some places to go here, man. So you want to wrap this up and get to our hypothetical
Yeah, I
question?
just wanted to bring one thing up.
Oh,
So I
what
was
you got?
scrolling through like upcoming movies, and there's a remake of Firestarter coming out, the Stephen King novel that was a movie in the 80s, I think,
Oh, okay.
with Zach Efron.
Interesting. Interesting. What was Firestarter about?
So she is, what do you call it? She can start fires with her mind.
So, like
I
kind
don't
of
know what that
telekinesis.
telekinesis, but I think it's called something else.
So there's like telekinesis, and then there's fuck, man. What's the other one? Telepathy?
Telepathy and
I think it's telekinesis because I think that's what Carrie had in the movie Carrie. Like she had telekinesis where she was able to like move shit and everything like that.
yeah,
The ability to start fires with her mind. That's kind of scary.
they call it pyrokinesis,
Oh, okay.
which makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I just like telekinesis,
So May
pyrokinesis.
May 13th that comes out. So it's not even that far out. I haven't seen a trailer or anything.
I
What the
haven't
hell?
seen any kind of publicity for it. Like
Yeah.
absolutely none.
This is another good year for movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's it's like we have to do that one of these episodes. We have to kind of figure out what year. We'll break it down. We'll break it down by decades and see
Yeah.
which decade, which year had the best year for movies. We'll have to do that
Yeah.
one of these episodes. We'll break it down, man. We kind of
That
talk.
that's a lot of homework.
That's a lot of homework, man. I'm not saying we have to watch them. It's just, well, maybe we would have to watch them, but maybe we can just go there and talk about it. Maybe we'll just like X out. It's just like,
Get the
yeah,
cliff notes.
yeah, yeah. So it's like, all right, so the English Patient came out, but also Die Hard. I'm going for a Die Hard every day.
Right, right.
Or whatever, even though the English Patient came out way after Die Hard. But you get what I'm trying to say. Um, but yeah, man, like I said, I gotta wrap some things up or wrap it. Let's wrap it up here. But before we do that, let's get to our hypothetical question. Derek, man, do you want to hit me with it? And I'll go ahead and offer it right back to you, man. Hypothetical corner. We're
So
gonna play a little music for it next time. No, I'm just kidding. We're not doing
a
that.
little like Jeopardy theme type thing.
Yeah, well, bum, 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 bum.
So,
People are like, "Yo, can he shut the fuck up?"
if if you were a robot but you didn't know, but I knew, would you want me to tell you?
Hmm. This reminds me of that movie. Um, did you see that? I think we talked about it the last, like one of our previous episodes. I told you about that Marshall Ali movie. I think that's how you pronounce his name. There's like a movie on, I think it's like Apple TV where he like you can place your consciousness into another character, or sorry, another like a cloned version of you, and that like because like for example, people who are like have like terminal cancer, right? Like they're going to die, but they don't like their family doesn't know they're going to die. They can take their consciousness and put it in a clone and have the clone be them so that they can pass away and their fam and like the clone can live with the family moving forward.
Yeah,
The concept's crazy. I was just like, what the fuck is this? Apple's really trying to push the envelope, man. Not envelope, but
right.
like really push, the sci-fi
Well, that
aspect.
sounds like that movie with, was it Ryan Reynolds? Where like the rich people like took their minds and put it in the bodies of younger people, like they erase the memories of the younger people
Oh yeah,
and
Get
put
Out.
their
No, I'm just kidding.
and then but he starts remembering some of his past
Oh
and then he
shit.
kind of fights back.
What movie's that, man?
Um,
It's a Ryan Reynolds film?
I'm pretty sure it was Ryan Reynolds. I really hate how it's like some of the
Well, you think, why you say that? Let me give you the answer. So, if I was a robot, what would I want you to tell me? Hmm. Man, that's a good question. I always kind of like to think of like, what is it? What's it called? Like, ignorance is bliss. Kind of like the philosophy of ignorance is bliss. Like, not knowing it brings you a bunch of happiness. But are you trying to tell me something, Derek? Am I fucking up?
so that movie is called Selfless, and it's like a self with with a like a backslash and then less, and it
Oh,
has Ben Kingsley in it.
oh, badass. So you're
So
less.
basically, the same concept. He finds out he has cancer. Um, his only hope is a radical medical procedure called shedding, in which his consciousness is transferred to a healthy body.
Interesting. But it's not like a
Yep.
clone, like an exact clone of himself that like
Yeah,
has all
it's
his
just
memories and stuff.
yeah, it's just a healthy body that they find.
Man, I have to look this up. I'm gonna compare this movie. But what I want you to tell me now, I got some questions for you. Now, how was I made? Like, is it a government? Would you again speculating here, right? Like, would I be created by the
Yeah.
government? Would I be created by like my loved ones? Would I be created as
Um.
like I guess what would be my purpose? Was I made with a consciousness just to like work in an assembly line for the rest of my life, and I was programmed to do that, but also to be a functioning human being, so that the humans didn't know that I was overtaking their jobs. It's like that South Park. That took her job.
Kind of like how Detroit Become Human is, where like
They
they have
don't
them
know.
androids that are like there to supplement different parts of the workforce.
Yeah, but they also don't know that they're robots, right? Like some of them don't know. They don't really understand like emotion.
Yeah, but I think as the game progresses, you find out like they find out.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to know, man. I wouldn't want to know. Like if
And
you
then he
knew,
also has to think, do Asimov's laws of robotics, do those apply? Like once you find out, like, oh shit, I'm a robot. Do those does those three laws of robotics still apply to you?
or do you now get to like
Or do you have free will now and you can just murder people and
die, motherfucker? No, I'm just kidding. Um, I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to know. Like I said, ignorance is bliss in this situation. I wouldn't want to know because I don't know what kind of shit I would do.
right.
What about you, man?
Um yeah, I think it would be best not to know. Like you might like you might like actually like lose your robotic mind if you were to find out like
Yeah.
shit, I'm not real. Like this whole time, like these memories aren't mine. These are like memories that someone implanted in me.
What is the metaphor? Have a screw loose? Like, like
Yeah, you
literally,
literally have a screw loose.
your screw would just come out and stuff. So I feel that. Yeah, you just don't
uh,
know what the outcome
but
that
if
would
you were
happen.
like, I guess it'd be different though. Like if you knew, like you were first booted up, and you're like, and the person tells you you're a robot, and these memories aren't going to be yours, but you're going to live the life like you're not a robot.
Hmm.
It'd be a little different than if you were like the whole time you thought you were real, and then all of a sudden you find out you're not real. It'd be a huge difference.
Fucking fine, dude. You're fucking with me. Cause yeah, cause like, who you are won't be the same person that you are anymore. And do you like
Yeah,
do you disobey or do you obey? It just
right,
again, man. I don't want to get into the logistics of it. Just turn me off when it's time to turn me off.
right,
When my batteries finally go out, man, just fucking turn me off and call it a day.
right.
I won't be upset because then if you turn me on and I find out that I'm fucking robot, I'm gonna start freaking out because everything you've known has been a lie. Your
Yeah,
family, you thought you had a family, you were born, you had sisters, brothers. Like, what if you're married? Oh, bro, no,
right.
no, don't tell me, don't tell me. I'm gonna lose my shit, man.
Your pain doesn't actually work the way you thought it did.
Exactly. Fucking, what is it like? Gears and shit that lift it up,
Right.
whatever. But speaking of that, man, I do play like this fictional. It's called a Warforge in my D&D campaign, and I'm pretty much play a robot, and I was created by the government as like a military, like pretty much like a police robot in the sense where we like
Uh-huh.
uphold the laws within this like corrupt government or something.
So
Um,
like Ultron.
Kind of, sort of, yeah, man. But I don't really have my own mind. Like, I was stolen by these group of travelers or whatever, which I'll get into that the next episode. I'll get into it more in the next episode, man. So, but I just want to say, man, Derek, good hypothetical, man. I'll bring the one. I'll have the hypothetical for you next week, man. I got you.
All right.
I'll get something good for you, man. It'll be
All
something
right.
like, hey, man, you have to suck your dad's Pete. No, I'm just kidding. That's fucking gross and weird. That's fucking gross and weird. I'm just kidding. But no, thank you everybody who listens, man. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a really great weekend. Be safe. Have a lot of fun. Thanks for, again, I can't thank you guys for listening. That people who are, checking us out. Continue to recommend us to your friends. Derek, man, thanks again for another good episodes and having me on. If you want to go ahead and close this out, man, do your thing.
Yeah. I want to thank everyone that was here, that came by to listen, or came by to watch. If you're watching us on YouTube, um, we really appreciate all the support. Every time you download one of our episodes or view one of our episodes on YouTube, we really we see that, and we're trying to build up to give you a better episode every week. So we really appreciate it. We hope you come back. I want to thank Joseph for being here again, and yeah, I mean that's going to do it for this week. Hope everyone has a good weekend, and we hope to see you back next week. See everybody later. Oh look, a special appearance. All right, everybody. See you guys next week.